Ah, video, yay. Maybe. I just thought I'd do some of the comments. I mean, there's just so many of them, and they're all just so stupid, and, So anyway, that's what you're stuck with, right? So I'll paraphrase everything. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Circle of Sorrow guy. Sorry. Somebody, yeah, this girl, she had a good video, gave me some company on a lonely night. Yeah, she gets harassed for that. So yes, a bunch of, and they were, talking about each other's penises and such. Let's see, don't you think the death penalty for jaywalking would put too much fear into people? That was just a bunch of nothing also. It's sort of an interesting subject. I just think it is, as a practical matter, just sort of a truth, I think, that, sometimes it just makes sense to make it impractical. Crime shouldn't pay, kind of thing. Yeah, so if it doesn't pay at all well, pays very, very badly, yeah, then you have less of it and everything is much nicer. So I just think that is there's truth to it. Yeah. So anyway, then I have some speculations about Piro. Thank you, Carmel, for being totally off the subject. But that provoked like 28 comments, which you're just like, why? All right. So then this Ken Fire in the Sky guy, tons of comment. I'm just so sick of him. And it's all this, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe this kind of, this crap, this overviewish, like let's go back to Rome or something, or they go back even further than that, and it's just so useless. This generic corporations are trying to kill you. Yeah, it's kind of like truther crap. I guess that's what's just really irritating. So anyway, so what's he say? I said a curse word, automatic death sentence. Oh well, seeing thou, I am the devil now. I am free to do whatever the fuck I want. Now is my gun because of the little old, see, I don't know what the corner is, so I don't need, what, that's a joke? And then he posts these stupid links to videos. Why? What? More. I mean, there's no. Why are you going to waste my? I'm going to let you just waste my time with your links. I mean, you should at least say what the video's title is, you coward. Yeah, if you're going to post video links, you should at least have the guts to put the title of the video next to the link. Thank you. Anyway. Still blaming a body organ. Humans transmit AIDS, therefore kill all humans. So because you would, over time they found foreskin to be superfluous, of no real utility, maybe even almost vestigial. You can certainly see it in other animals. It's on its way out, you could almost argue. Okay, foreskin is like the penal bone. It's on the ash heap of history, in terms of our evolution. And but no, this is a fair comparison. It's killing the penis. To take the foreskin, removing the foreskin is death to the whole human soul. Anyway. Is the one honestly going to put cheese? Well, okay, I'll forget about the cheesy stuff. But I mean, the fact is, it's just a fact, okay? It is a place where microbial activity is facilitated, all right? And so the foreskin provides a medium for the spread of infections, for the existence of the infections and for the spread of the infections. It's just a fact. I mean, it's okay. It's not the biggest fact in the universe. It's not the biggest crisis in the universe. But it's a fact, shithead. So quit denying it. Quit playing this game like there's some, you're not cutting my dick off. I mean, what is that rhetoric? Who can take you seriously? Foreskin is cutting your dick off. I mean, he compares it to eyesight, being blind. He compares it to teeth, having your teeth knocked out. So your teeth are, the functionality of teeth to the consumption of food and whatever else we use teeth for is the same in terms of a fair analogy to the vitalness of foreskin to the function of the penis. I mean, it's just such an idiotic argument. What do you want me to say except you're so fucking stupid? Anyway, all right. Then vegan arguments are all in here. Blah blah blah. But I mean, Ken is too big an asshole, so I don't even give a shit. He's vegan, okay, big deal, because he's a lunatic. So what good is it? So anyway, this all started this thread. There is no rule that needs to be followed other than to be civilized, do no harm, which is a nice statement. But obviously, I would argue that there's no way to do no harm. That's the whole problem. There's no way to do no harm on this planet covered with crap. Every step you take is likely to do some fucking harm. So, in a sense, that just doesn't work. Yeah, it'd be really great, but there's no way to make that practical. And that's the whole problem with the fucking, that's why it's by design futile, is that we need to consume, and the stuff we have to consume is too often stuff that's of too much value to be fairly described as food. Just as we know we're not fairly or rightly described as food. It just doesn't work. It's too cannibalistic. The odds are you're going to make victims. The more you roll the dice, the more likely it is the skull and crossbones are going to pop up, and there's the price, and it's too expensive. Duh. So there's no do no harm. Well, anyway, but that started all this crap. Anyway, I'll try to get to some, better parts. I mean, it probably won't be better parts. It's just going to be bragging on stupid anti-bullshit man, because he's such an obnoxious little prick. He really is becoming such an irritant. Let's see. I removed the comments. I don't know what he was talking about there. Alright, gum disease is spread by kissing. Therefore, knock children's teeth out. I mean, so that's the comparison he makes. Removing foreskin is like knocking a kid's teeth out. And I'm supposed to take you seriously as somebody can have a rational argument about a subject? No. Obviously, you can't have a rational argument. You can't make a rational argument. Ugh. Fuck. Anyway. So this Matilda guy is such a jackass. Gary is a classic borderline that engages in theatrics in order to gain attention. So where that shows up, I don't know. His anxiety stems from a fear of abandonment. Fuck you. I mean, really, fuck you. It's just so idiotic. There's lots of people who love me, okay? I don't like people. So I don't know how I could be afraid of abandonment when I find humans revolting and really don't care for their company whatsoever. Even the ones I really, really like. I can only really, really like for a few hours at a time, and then they get the fuck out of my face. Because I get really, really sick of them really, really fast. I love being alone. Fear of abandonment? You couldn't be further off the target, jackass. But again, what does this have to do with anything? Nothing. Thank you for being off subject and totally irrelevant. I'm not sure how serious he is about the stuff he says. He trolls and attacks random people. Where the fuck do I do that? Random people where? What random person do I troll? And shit stores in order to get views. Well, again, what evidence do you have of this? Oh, I make response videos to people making videos. And I make more response videos to people who have like 10 subscribers than I think anybody else with a subscription level as high as mine. So where's the evidence of this? And exactly how do I demonstrate that this doesn't have anything to do with what I'm doing? I mean really, I make what, 3 Thunderfoot videos a year? I might make 2 Amazing Atheist videos a year. And that's attention whoring. And I'm supposed to take you seriously as making any kind of serious accusation against my character? This is a serious accusation? No, it's a fucking goddamn piece of shit. You're just lying about somebody else's character to serve your own purposes, asshole. You've lost an argument and you're just being a petty bitch. Oh, yeah, that seems like rational analysis. Oh, God. If he is serious, most of the time he is just shooting from the hip. Well, they're all public videos. I haven't deleted any of them. If you could make a rational counter argument, that would be interesting, but you can't do that. All you can do is slander people, you fucking weak ass. Oh, these people are just so irritating. So look at this asshole again. Charles Darwin, and then he links to slided it. It's a JPEG, an image of Charles Darwin. I don't need to do that, asshole. I don't know. So then Zorak, he's changed his name. Yeah. Well, why don't you just go all the way to, fat ass? Fat ass 75, okay? Fat ass? Yes, he often contradicts himself because he's insane. Gee, you'll find no evidence of that either. Weak ass. So, just liars. Slandering little liars. So, I don't know, Ken does this stupid thing. True or false? Suffering exists. Suffering exists with no life. Well, no, it can't. Does suffering exist at all without life? Well, it's the same question. No, it can't. Does the beginning of life bring into existence suffering? Yeah, that's the way it works, Ken. Do you have some counter theory? I suppose he was thinking somebody was going to reply to that mush, but apparently not. Let's see. Oh, this is even more brilliant. But Gary is saying all pleasure is in the brain, so you don't even need a body to experience pleasure. I mean, haven't you heard of people who are paralyzed from the neck down? I mean, they effectively don't have any neural connection whatsoever with most all of their body. Okay, it's the brain stemming up, and that's all they've got. And they have full conscious experience, shithead. You don't need a body, idiot, to be conscious. And certainly to feel pleasure, idiot. In that case, the whole argument that all life is suffering can't be right. I don't know how that would change the argument at all. But again, you don't understand that sensation is something that takes place in the brain, triggered by neurons, that the trigger has nothing to do with where the bullet comes out. You can't figure that out. The trigger isn't the bullet. Shit for brain. But much to explain properly now. I'll try later. Oh, gee. But basically, we are human and we were born. We have these sensations. One we like and others we really don't like, such as getting our dick cut off. So have you had your dick cut off? I mean, Ken, are you a person who's been circumcised who thinks somehow that you've been cheated? You've been robbed of your full dick function? No, that's exactly not who you are. You're just some smelly dicked, fucking flabby, extra skin hanger, okay, who's bitching because you don't want anybody to be different than you, apparently. You don't want anybody to have what might be perceived as an advantage, I guess. I guess that's the threat here, right? Because this doesn't make any sense, right? You think there's some problem, yet you don't have the problem, but you're going to protect everybody else from what you think is the problem, even though they're not telling you it's a problem. So you think fathers who hate their dick and hate having their skin cut off go ahead and have their kids circumcised anyway, just to be malicious. Retard. Let's see. So yeah, here's Matilda. Is Gary saying that pleasure is in the brain? If so, how can he say all life is suffering? I don't know. Yeah. I'm saying brains, right. If no brains, no worries. That's what I'm saying, yes, quite clearly. No brain, no suffering. Yes, it's completely dependent on the existence of brains. That's right. Fucking stupid motherfuckers. Alright, so here's the eye thing, right? The amount of pixels in your eyes are not important either because you can think of color and possibly see it in your imagination. Therefore, eyes are not needed. So again, he's comparing vision to foreskin. Fair, cop? No, not fair at all. Not reasonable, not rational, not respectable. So I agree, just religious bullshit sexually mutilating children. So again, he's saying that people in the last, say, 100 years in America have circumcised their children for religious reasons because they wanted to do the right thing by God. He thinks that's what most people did. And he's just ignoring the fact that most doctors thought it was be advisable. And second, most men who were circumcised probably said, hey, it worked for me, okay. No complaints here, so yeah, why not? And he doesn't think that's the truth. The truth is they're just doing it because some God edict says it's the right thing to do. And all edicts from God, like washing your hands and not eating pig and doing all these other stuff, they all are nonsensical rubbish. Yeah, right. None of them have any connection to anything commonsensical. Oh, right. Alright, call everybody a bug if you want. That just means don't be awful to bugs. I don't even know what that means. And where is this bug you are referring to with the limb that is a bad design? Well, whatever. I don't know. It's another link, untitled. Fuck you, I'm not visiting untitled links. I mean, you know, like I said, who wants this in a video? Who wants the, what do you, I mean, you don't see anything, Ken, you can't realize that this is a little bit rude to make, what, 45 comments on one video. Anyway, let's have a look. He has turned it into concrete without those nourishing oils and prone to infections. Well, there's no evidence. The prone to infections is your problem, actually. Friction rubbing your cloths, I guess, for the last 50 years. I'd be thinking you could punch holes in hardwood fences with that thing and not even feel it. Cool, I can only say. Yeah, great. Yeah, okay. So where's the problem again? Oh, yeah, that's right. There isn't one. Alright, so then this idiot said, horse racing is not arbitrary. I mean, it's just amazing when people are going to argue with you that, you know, the idea of humans being entertained by spectator sport, that especially once they have, you know, that have a whole industry based on them, you know, a whole culture. You know, where you do your little pinky thing and, you know, you bet on the outcomes and all that kind of stuff, that it isn't completely arbitrary, that you couldn't just change the animal like they did. They had dog racing, they had different kinds of races. And it's only because of people acquiring a taste for it. And that's it. It's an acquired taste. And the taste can be dog fighting, it could be cockfighting. We see it around the world. They all have different definitions of what fun sport is. And so how can you deny that it's not just arbitrary? Oh, that's right, you can do it because there's no rule saying you have to be reasonable, and you're unreasonable. But his explanation is even stupider. Okay, so here it was. Because farmers appreciate the value of a good horse for its ability to provide labor. Right, and that has something to do with a horse that runs fast? No, that's not a farmer thing. That's the carriage horse thing, okay? That was the well-offs are the ones who did the horse racing thing. Farmers had horses for plowing. You don't want a fast plow horse, idiot. Horses are also domesticated and thus have a close relationship with humans. It could not be cockroach racing. Well, I was using an extreme, but I'm going to argue that yes, it still could be, okay, because you don't have a very close relationship with an animal you're using as an instrument of betting. You think people have really close relationships to thoroughbred racehorses? Well, I don't think they have very close relationships. I think they basically brutalize these poor animals and exploit the motherfucking hell out of them. So I don't think they're all that kind to them. I don't think there's too many people too very kind to their dogs that they're racing. I don't think there's too many people too damn kind to the cocks that they're fighting or the dogs that they're fighting. So fuck you, you're an idiot. All right. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, partial efficacy of male circumcision in reducing HIV acquisition. Yeah, well, I don't even know what to say partial, okay, because it's as stated by the World Health Organization, the cheapest, most effective way to prevent the spread of HIV in Africa. Okay, so fuck you. Um, so then he turns that into just don't kiss, don't have pimples, don't sweat, don't shave your head, don't have long hair. So again, foreskin equals all these aspects of life itself. You're just not going to know what life is if you don't have foreskin. So women are not only without a penis, but it's the foreskin. That's where women are the really big losers. I mean, not having a goddamn foreskin, they're just missing out on everything. So it's not even not having a penis. It's not having a foreskin, for fuck's sake. That is the magic. That is life on. That there's nothing like it in the universe. The magical fucking goddamn foreskin. I mean, really, they've turned it into a penis. They've turned fucking foreskin into the game when everybody knows foreskin is just a fucking sneaker in the game. Somebody with AIDS fucking somebody without AIDS is fine as long as you have a completely useless little tiny piece of skin removed from the penis. Well, the fact is that, yes, if you're rolling dice, you take skull and crossbones off more dice by removing foreskin. It's just a fact, okay? You don't like facts? Well, too fucking bad, but it's a fucking goddamn fact that you lower the probability that you'll be able to spread the goddamn disease because you won't have a place to carry it anymore. Because guess what? The foreskin is a place to keep bacteria alive. It's a nice, warm, moist environment. That's exactly what the AIDS virus needs because the AIDS virus is transmitted through cells. So it keeps the cell comfortable enough for it to survive for you to give it to some fucking body else, idiot. Dumbass. Fact. Yeah. Ugh, Jesus. I hate these people. Who wants to have sex with somebody who probably has STD? Well, I mean, you want to have sex with somebody who's hot, so yeah, if they have an STD, that's a downside, but I mean, it's not going to change your want too much. Well, I mean, it's going to change it, but it's not going to undo it entirely. But anyway, it doesn't matter. What are you doing at the moment? Commenting, I guess, YouTube video. Bravo, dumbass. So, yeah. So these, okay, so this is where we get into the anti-bullshit man bullshit. So what he does basically, I mean, I'm just going to go run through this thing a little bit. I mean, I'll just paraphrase instead of reading it. Alright, so, unfortunately, his first video, I should have, well, here it is. Okay, yeah, this is his first comment. Really, a bullshit man video because I replied to a flimsy analogy in a comment made by somebody else in your video. Okay, so he doesn't like the fact that I make a video replying to a comment that he leaves that's like this, a big giant blob of shit. So I was supposed to just ignore the blob of shit and not pay any attention because it's not something rational and reasonable that he would like me to respond to. No, he would in fact not like me to respond to it. I mean, you just can't satisfy this little putz. He's just getting so obnoxious. So if you respond, then you're ignoring him. If you you know, and if you don't respond, and if you respond, he's going to call you some kind of jerk because what, you responded to my thoughtful commentary that I left on your video? Yeah, that's what I did, jackass. It's called I gave you a little bit of respect, and I said, okay, I'll comment on your fucking comment, shithead. That's called respect, jackass. Oh, you don't realize that. Fine. Fuck you. I'll catch the other 35 a bit later, as always. Stuff about familial tribal biases, well put, and echo lament. Although there's too much disagree so far, I'm fine in general. Whatever, who cares? We are just bugs, intelligent bugs. Okay, so he doesn't like this bug thing somehow. No, we're humans, okay? And human means something, and that's it. You can't do this poetic usages. And you can't analogize us or do any of this kind of stuff because somehow that's wrong. And I'm saying, well, how the fuck exactly is that wrong? Bug is a machine, okay, with a very low intelligence. The intelligence is just basically mechanical. It makes the legs work to do the thing, to get the food in the mouth. and to do the reproducing thing, but they don't do any thought about it. They don't fall in love and do all this other kind of crap. It's really a mechanical thing. Yeah, they probably have sensations, and they're probably really loud and intense and important, but they're not doing anything intelligent. They're just mechanically operating with a really simple and crude agenda, which is food, eat, fuck, die. And that's it. No thinking about it, just do it. And yeah, the difference is that mechanically we're exactly the same machine, okay? Without our high ambitions and all this other bullshit, we're a mechanical device built to consume shit in the environment, to fuck and then die. And that's how we're built. We're physically built to do that, to be sustained in that project, in this social environment, and to play the alpha game, and some of us to be shark food so the alpha can win, so Team Whitey can beat Team Blackie or whatever. We're designed to do exactly that as bugs. So the analogy fits. Fuck you, you're nitpicking. What else is new? It's at its core, it's just a feeling machine. Yeah, and some people look at their biological core, gasp at the inner working, and say, fuck you, crude mechanism, I won't be defined by base features. Yeah, well, again, some people, but most people aren't doing that, and that's exactly what the difference, and I'd say most of the difference is understanding evolution. And so his argument that understanding evolution isn't what's going to lead you to this de facto pessimism, rejectionism, or ethical extinctionism. So he says evolution cannot ipso facto lead to. And I'm saying, of course it can. If you understand evolution for what it's actually doing, which is killing 1,000 children to produce one child that gets to fuck and then die, you could figure out right there, ipso facto, hey, that doesn't make any logical sense. Make one thing survive partially, and very few things that'll survive to old age, right? I mean, the mechanism isn't really designed to live very long. I mean, we don't even outlast our physical parts in most cases. If you live to be a ripe old age, your parts, most of them, probably won't be working anymore. So let's not be in denial of what the game is. And like I said, for most of the organisms on Earth, it's even more insidious. You take a perfectly healthy salmon and say, "Let's go swim upstream," rapidly morph into a thing that's basically just degrading with every mile it swims, so we can basically just fall entirely apart when we reach the destination, squirt our load, and then have our parts get eaten by our own children. How is that not ipso facto disgusting, insanely stupid? Let's take a perfectly healthy salmon and kill it. In a horrible way, beating the shit out of it, going up some stream. Come on. It's ipso facto stupido. Fuckface. Well, fuckhead anyway. Your head is kind of fucked up. Anyway, that's where it ends. Okay, so it's this. The scenario making bit where you impose harsh punishment on Mason to save a prospective victim from a slightly harsher fate. Slightly harsher. Isn't very clear. Are you saying that the prospective victim wouldn't be raped by Mason himself? Okay, so I've sort of been over this, what the idea is. And so, and his argument is that Mason is irrelevant. So Thunderfoot could make videos about any subject, defending almost anything, pedophilia, for example, and that's not empowering anybody. It's not taking anybody with a vulnerable psychology and motivating them. He says these videos are all useless. I am influenced by my own videos, to tell you the truth. I watch some of my old videos once in a while, and I'll say something like, holy shit, I'll think about the psychology thing, and I'll say, oh yeah, I'm just depressed, and that's just a psychological state. And there's probably a couple of little buttons I could hit in my imagination. If I hit a couple of different memories and a couple of things, I could probably get myself out of this, and blah blah blah. And so I'm changed and affected by my own words, let alone the possibility of being affected by other people's. And certainly when you hear other people who we know that there's these people are called these sycophants. You've used words like this. you fucking cunt. And so you'll concede the existence of something called a sycophant, and yet you'll concede that what, they don't have any impact. That if the icon doesn't properly chastise the sycophant, they're not going to be affected by that lack of disapproval. Fuck you. I mean, but this is another double standard, right? It means enough for you to fucking comment, but it doesn't mean enough that it means anything. And it's all what? For what purpose? So anyway, the whole point of my argument is that Thunderfoot is a meme cancer. Okay? I don't think Thunderfoot himself has committed rape, beyond the fact that I think he's had sex with women who have compromised judgment. So I think he has willfully encouraged women to get drunk, so he can maneuver himself into bedding them, when he knows that if they were sober, they probably wouldn't have consented. So he has modified women's. He has deliberately and willfully engineered the consent he wishes to get, and that is a kind of theft, in my opinion. Well, not rape, but it's a theft. It's a dirty trespass. It's a shitty thing to do. But more importantly, what I think is dangerous about Thunderfoot is the fact that he tells a bunch of assholes who have a lot of petty and weaselly complaints about the bitches, and just reinforces their anger and their resentments and their sense of entitlement. As I said it in the video, I said the word sense of entitlement. That's the scary part. There's men who think they're fucking entitled. They think women are something they can legitimately possess, control, take, have, all right, and that they're entitled to have them. Fuck. Anyway. So here's a comment to Anti-Bullshit Man. So the Matilda guy is such a fucking idiot. Holy shit, Flat Earther it has 11,000 subs. I guess it shows that Gary hasn't accomplished as much with his following. I don't understand. The internet's full of far out weirdos. Yeah, I don't know what do you think you come off as, Matilda? Yeah, what do you think you come off as? No icon, and you just fucking troll comment sections. What do you think you come off as? It's just unfortunate that the garbage tends to crowd out the worthwhile stuff, and I guess I just love to see what you think is worthwhile. Thunderfoot saying something preposterous like, if a woman doesn't go to the cops, she wasn't raped. You think that's worthwhile? Fuck for brain. Well, he has a history of blocking and suing people for bogus claims. Well, again, bogus how? Oh, I don't own my videos. Oh, I don't own my own face. It's not mine. The law, when the law says I have first right, unless you're going to fairly use it, and the fair use has to be education, some sincere purpose. It doesn't say anywhere in fair use laws malicious slander is protected under fair use. Does it say that anywhere, asshole? No. So I guess it's mine until somebody has a right to use it. And you can't claim a right when you're not using it to educate or to be honest or to honestly critique, but you're just using it to slander somebody. Guess what? Then you're not entitled to it first. I am. It's my property, shithead. But that's a bogus claim. I don't own my face. No. Any asshole who wants to maliciously shit or do anything they want to do can do it. Nobody owns their art. Nobody owns their industry. You can just take it and you can piss on it and shit on it and do whatever the fuck you want to it because somehow you're entitled. Well, you're not. And the law is clear. You're entitled if you have a good purpose. But if you don't have a good purpose, you're not entitled. Shit, you can't figure that out? No, of course you can't, because you never had a good purpose in your fucking life, you fucking useless piece of trolly shit. Anyway, honestly, that is what bothers me the most. There are a lot of nuts out there, just can't see how people don't see through Gary's thin facade of universal compassion. I don't have universal compassion. So where do you get that from? Where do you get a concept like universal compassion? When have I said anything about universal compassion? We're talking about a video where I was basically saying we should shove a fucking telephone pole up somebody's ass. How is that fucking universal compassion? I have made tons of videos saying deterrence works. How is that universal compassion? How is that unconditional love or something? No, I think love should be very conditional. I suspect that most do but don't care and enjoy vicariously shitting on people via proxy. Well, look what you're doing, shithead. Oh, God, it's very much a mob mentality. No, it's very much a fucking weaselly coward mentality. Hiding behind weaselly anonymity. Make your accusations, defend them with no facts. And force people to defend themselves against your false accusation, you fucking weasel. So this was initiated because Anti-Bullshit Man made the claim that I blocked him, which of course I didn't do, because he doesn't know enough about YouTube to know they have this stupid spam feature where anybody can just click on his comment and turn it into shit. And that's not my fault, fuckhead. Yeah, that paragraph is probably the reason my comments don't show up here anymore. No, the reason why your comments don't show up anymore is because people who don't like long comments or they don't like links in comments, they just mark them as spam and then they end up off the page and then I have to go to the page and I have to activate them again. That's the way it works, okay? That's the way YouTube works. It's stupid. I don't give a shit about this crap, and so I don't pay much attention to it, but I guess I have to pay more attention to it, but it's just a pain in the ass. I wish YouTube didn't do it, but that's what they do. Oh well. It's not the first time he blocked me. Well, I didn't block you. Probably won't be the last. I don't block people who make rational commentary, okay? It's when they spam my videos or something, I'll block them. And yeah, when you made videos, I blocked you because there was a reason to block back then, because it meant something, okay? It doesn't mean anything anymore. You can't even block anybody anymore anyway. So there's no point in blocking. I haven't blocked anybody in months because there's no point in blocking them, because their comments, they still make comments and they're still visible to other people, so what's the fucking point in it? But whatever. Have your own theory. Alright, so this is Matilda again. In my experience, there are two camps of arguers on the internet, either the full in camp of people who constantly apply a militant literalism to their argumentation style, or don't. Whatever. If not, maybe it's time to quit complaining about others who molest the language, since the molestation you're bothered by, but rather... Oh, well, this is not interesting. Anyway, here we go. Alright, I posted 2 additional comments. Can't see the other one, so I've probably been blocked again. Well, fuck you. You haven't been blocked. So he made 2 comments complaining about being blocked. You could delete those now. Yeah. Okay, he gets 2 thumbs up for accusing me of blocking him when that's not what happened, and anybody who's used YouTube at all knows there's a spam folder and they get thrown in the spam folder. I love how none of Gary bots are here address anything the OP said. So typical. So again, and if you do address them, then you'll complain that, hey, look, he's nitpicking and he's picking on me. Oh, God, I hate these people. Poison their water, cut their children's dicks off. So again, here he is. Cut their children's dicks off. Poison their minds. Blah, 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 blah. Conspiracy. Truth or not. They're killing you with wheat now. Anyway. Wow, did you even read the entry in the first article you just linked? Oh, okay. So yeah, this Matilda guy. So he's linking to USA Today reported rapes are a 20-year low. Right, and so this guy's just pointing out, well, go read the article and you might figure out that reported rape is the key word, and the type of rapes that are taking place are, rape has moved. The rapists have become a little more sophisticated, let's just say, and so they just don't, molest people on the street, but now they engineer their molestation, just like thieves have figured out how to use Craigslist, and they figure out different ways, and they figure out how to call old people and steal their money. So yeah, they have new techniques now, but it's the same basic game. And what we know is that women in any kind of let's figure out the right social like convention. Okay, conventions are not a good place for women to go because there's lots of men who are praying with the, get them drunk and make them cry. Game playing. But anyway, we know that date rape isn't way down, and we know all this other stuff isn't way down. So it's really still a reality, and it's still a fact that if a woman took a walk in the park alone, she's going to be blamed for taking a walk alone if something happens. So we know that's still there, and we know it still happens. So what's this argument about? I'm arguing that men should be universally and intensely invested in making sure that no man ever senses any license to take a woman in any circumstance that it looks anything like rape. And that men with balls should be able to say, yeah, rape be bad. Wow. I'm again it. Can't do that? That's too much trouble? It's too much trouble to support a woman who says, gee, I shouldn't get raped. Yeah, I support that woman. Yeah, I support her right not to be raped. I do. God, you people suck. Yeah, kind of those who like to pretend that systematic racism and such in America is equivalent to verifying groups not the person against blacks. Yeah, well, whatever. So it's all these generalizations, and generalizations are the thing we're supposed to be against anyway. In this whole fucking thing is the idea that it's not about generalizing; it's about enabling, giving people rights. But you have to still acknowledge the difference between men and women. It's just stupid to pretend the difference doesn't exist, and that's sort of what fucking anti-bullshit man is doing here. Let's see. So first he says he's doing no such thing to the focus on an individual act, not individuals living on an island. And yeah, well, my argument is that you are focusing on, you're claiming that I was implying or saying that Thunderfoot is a rapist, and therefore that's why I don't like Thunderfoot. And that's certainly wasn't anything close to a fair paraphrase of my argument. So clearly my argument was that Thunderfoot's a talker, a meme controller in society. Now the fact that you think none of these people have any power and you don't think they're any consequence, I just think that's just idiotic. So, sorry, yeah, I think it's really idiotic for you to think that Thunderfoot is irrelevant, that whatever he says is irrelevant, that he affects no minds. Bull fucking shit. He empowers a bunch of ignoramuses, okay? I mean, people, look, you think NASCAR wouldn't love it if Albert Einstein showed up at NASCAR and said how great it is, and he loves the car racing, and blah, blah. They would love to have an endorsement from Albert Einstein. So I'm not saying that Thunderfoot is Albert Einstein. I'm just saying endorsement is endorsement, okay? Thunderfoot is a scientist. And so the scientist says all those silly women whining about being abused and manipulated and lied to and cheated, well, they're all liars and cheaters and whores. We all know that because if they were really raped, they would have gone to the police. Oh, yeah, right. That doesn't mean anything. That has no consequence. Yeah. It's not just about the harm. Well, that was unexpected, but I must know that you're going through the video archives and putting together a hell of a lot of compilation. You're forcefully saying it's just about the harm. Well, again, it's just about the harm, but we're projecting, okay? So we're doing a probabilistic study about what the implications of something are. So I'm saying that obviously it's not about the harm that happens today because you can't measure the harm today as the only harm that exists. The harm in the future is real. And that's what you're projecting to. So what I'm arguing is that the rhetoric of people, like when smart people say dumb things, it's a much more, it just as a fact is more dangerous, more destructive potential. It's not the same fucking thing as a stupid person saying stupid things. When smart people say stupid things, and I would argue for stupid reasons, right, then it gets really complicated to exactly what kind of criminal, it's the level of the maliciousness, and you can't just discount that as not being important. It is important. God, I hate this fucking shit. I don't think there's anything else I need to say here. I mean, it's just this whole idea that somehow Thunderfoot is meaningless. It's just stupid. And then here, if a growing number of feminists can apply a refreshingly sex-neutral approach to discussions on victims' predators, you can too, as it isn't some overblown MRA talking point. Well, I think that is an overblown talking point. I think it's idiotic not to recognize that men are more aggressive, more likely to be perpetrators, takers. Just a fact. When you default to females as victims, well, they usually are the victim, jackass. And males as predators, they are the predators, jackass. You know, conceptualizations of these issues, you indirectly downplay the need for battered men's shelters and the like. Yeah, I don't think there is a need. I think it's perfectly reasonable to downplay, because you would have to go hundreds of miles to find enough of these battered people to put in the shelter. So you'd actually have to have like airplanes and fly the people to the battered man shelter, because there's not going to be enough battered men to fill the shelter. Do you understand that? You're going to have so fucking goddamn few, because it's a 1,000 to 1 ratio. You don't understand that either? 1,000 to 1 ratio of men who have broken bones being battered by women. 1,000 to 1, and you're saying that somehow women lack sensitivity because they're not paying any attention to poor battered men? Fuck you. I mean, really, just fuck you and this nonsense. I mean, that's just so fucking stupid. Men and women are different. Women, okay, again, have periods, PMS, and have to have pain, childbirth, the whole ugly mess of it. Right? They have these huge burdens of biology. And so right there, they've earned some respect points just for those two burdens alone. And then the burdens of less physical strength, you're not going to pay any attention to that? Fuck you. I mean, really, just fuck you. All right, let's see. No, it does not. All you're doing is correcting a victim deficiency. But pretty quickly you overdose and get brain damage. His comments are just, you lose the entire chunk of your brain and scrotum. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, you fucking idiot. Anyway. Oh yeah, this is Immanuel Kant, who is again irrelevant. I mean, I like the sentiment. I'd like to use my big pile of inheritance to buy your ass some cigs, bro. Yeah, well, I don't really do that bro thing. It's right there. I don't want bro cigarettes. But whatever. Yes, I'd like cigarettes, but really, frankly, I have to get to... You know, I gotta figure out how to have a sustainable future. But anyway, yeah, I need cigarettes now and then, so yeah, it would be nice. But I'm not going to beg for cigarettes. I'm not going to beg for money. I'm not going to do either one yet. Well, I'll encourage people. Yes, if you wish to send me cigarettes, it's easy enough to find out where to send them. So go ahead and do that. Maybe. I mean, it is an awful lot of money, so I can't defend it. Yeah, probably can't defend it. Well, anyway, yeah, people give me advice on cigarettes. It's just so annoying. I mean, I'm allowed to choose my... whatever you want to call them, my vices, my deficiencies. And, yeah, okay, so I don't do a lot of other shit. I don't drink, and I don't do meth, as so many people accuse me of, and I don't do this, and I don't do that, and all this other crap. But, yeah, I'm addicted to nicotine. I would smoke cigarettes most all of my life. I'm telling you, from 11 years old on, I've lived with cigarettes, and you're telling me I have to divorce my wife. And I'm saying, what are you talking about? I've lived with her for 45 years, and you're saying I have to leave? I can't live with her anymore? I mean, fuck you. It's just rude. Why? Because you don't like it? You fucking bigots? Go fuck yourselves. I mean, you know, and they're also on fat-ass unhealthy turds like this, the walking heart attack. And he's going to tell me how I'm doing it wrong? Oh, fuck you. I love this. And get healthy. I mean, I'm not going to go to his site again, but go look at this guy's fat ass. He's talking about getting healthy and he's wearing a Jason mask. But, you know, go look at this fat ass's fat butt and you tell me about how long he's going to live. I mean, you could just do the butt test. You could just, you know, if they had a computer that could analyze the rear ends, I'm sure his rear end would come out, yeah, he's going to drop dead at 55, heart attack. I mean, he's got a heart attack rear end. Oh, God, what an idiot. Let's see. You're a hastily presumptive moron. He has explicitly stated numerous times that it is a toxic addiction and nothing more. That he essentially recognizes such intellectually. Yes, there's nothing good. Don't smoke cigarettes. Don't ever pick up a cigarette if you're some kid that thinks it might be smart or fun. No. Trust me, it won't be fun. So that's just the wrong way to say it. But I mean, you won't win in the end. Okay, the cigarette's going to win. So don't play with it, because it'll beat your ass. But it will have its moments. I'm just saying, like, but you know, every fight has its moments. But you're going to lose in the end, so don't play with it. Anyway, everything I stated in my comment was true. What's your point? Are you attempting to equivocate that imposing harm over a lifetime metric of tons of animals through purchasing of torturous conditions? Yeah. So again, they're going to compare eating fucking you know, they're fucking torturing animals as something as benign as cigarette smoking, which is basically drinking toxic tea. Would you really, because tea, let's say most tea, black tea, doesn't have any real beneficial value. Let's just say you just put a silly tax on it, right? Why? Because you can't mind your own business? Ugh, it's just disgusting. Anyway. Let's see. Oh, maybe try watching more of your leader's videos. What does that have to do with anything? Supporting circumcision, nut rider. Yeah, well, again, and what's your point in your concern about circumcision? Oh, yeah, so I didn't even get to the fucking anti-bullshit man posted a whole bunch of stuff on that. I don't know how that got missed somewhere, but apparently it did. Maybe there's another anti-bullshit man comment. Because I really should get to the whole crap. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay. Ugh. So this is all circumcision, pretty much. Once we get past this, I do not see Mason as a buffoon more often than not. I just disagree that he's dangerous buffoon. So he doesn't think it's dangerous when intellectuals go bad. I just find that an idiotic argument. That's when things go the most wrong, is when smart people start saying stupid fucking things, defending stupid NASCAR mentality morons like Zach. Anyway, all right, here we go. So I asked for a little bit of proof regarding this evidence, right? You're asking for evidence of that, right? So this lopsided dissatisfaction rates. So he says there's some sort of evidence of that. Okay, Kinsey didn't find it. No other scientific research I've ever seen done has ever found any preponderance of circumcised males complaining about any performance issue whatsoever. So that's just bullshit on its face. And what does he come up with? A website called mothering.com. So this is where you go to find out about the truth about circumcision. You go to a website called mothering.com. Yeah, I thought that was a little funny myself. So anyway, he thinks that it's evidence because there's threads on the internet, right? By people like maybe anti-bullshit man, right? I mean, we just had a bunch of testimony from another kook as if he was circumcised, talking about how horrible it is, as if he was actually circumcised, and we know he's not. So he's complaining about some figment in his imagination, not anything real, and not any real experience. He's never experienced being circumcised, so he surely has no personal experience. He doesn't know anything about it whatsoever, and yet he's claiming it as if he's a victim. So I wonder how many people are posting here on your forum are real people with any kind of real complaint. Yeah, I just wonder. And we already know there's a bunch of males who weren't circumcised who choose to get circumcised later in life. It does fucking happen. They find that their foreskin is probably a useless sack of nothing. A piece of trivial skin, not doing them any good. And so if they're having some other procedure done, they'll often say, well, while you're down there, you might as well hack that shit off. Anyway. All right, this is why I believe RIC is nowhere close to a 50-50 type decision. So here we go. So it's the complaints on a thread of males complaining about being left uncut as newborn. So he's saying that there's a bunch of men who've been circumcised who somehow know that any penis problem they have, it's the fault of not having foreskin. That there's something fundamentally breaking about foreskin, even though there's a whole bunch of males who will testify, I see it as 100% fine. I got no problems. I have absolutely no complaints regarding my penis's function. Absolutely none. So somehow, even though I don't have a foreskin, I've managed to have 0 complaints. Yeah, okay, does that make sense? No. I've looked for such threads. Yes, of course you have. Why would you bother doing that? Why don't you look for some sort of scientific research where men are asked in some sort of circumstance where they're anonymous and they don't have to account for anything and all that stuff, and they might give you an honest answer. But what, you're going to get honest answers on the internet? Right. Why don't you read some book reviews? I'm sure none of those were written by the author of the book. Yeah, right. And I mean, you're just showing, and even the fanaticism you see on this subject, you're going to tell me that you would trust the people posting, It's just so funny. If you're inclined to dismiss the one I've posted as a one-off, no, I'm inclined to dismiss it as an unscientific description that has any, I'm saying it's of no value as evidence. Absolutely no value. It's like reading letters written to CBS about what program should be on. It's useless. For some reason, YouTube is preventing me from copying and pasting links. Oh, well, gee. I'm like I said, I'm really, again, find a scientific survey where you have some kind of real circumstance where real patients or real people are making these, and you can find some statistical, I'm much happier being stated by people who are uncircumcised more than people circumcised. Okay, find some sort of research that shows how the uncircumcised males are living more fulfilled lives, having more sexual partners, having a better sex life, a more satisfied, all that shit. Go find that. And until you find that, you're full of shit. And your whole argument is premised on it. You say this is the biggest reason because you read our online forums and heard a bunch of nonsense. And this is the biggest reason. Okay, you think it's not a 50-50 type decision. Whatever. So fuck you. For that alone, I mean, you're way too smart not to figure out that forum posts are no way to decide what's rational policy or rational anything. Circumcisions.com. I wonder. I'm sure that's a non-biased site, right? Regret. I mean, men who are satisfied with their circumcision, I'm sure they would run out and create a website called circumcisions.com. Right? Wouldn't they do that? Oh, wait a minute. No, they wouldn't. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they wouldn't. Oh, this is such a pile of shit. I mean, really, it's just not an answerable question. And I'm just saying, just by the little stuff there is, I'm just saying, you're telling me it'd be rational for me, okay, having been circumcised, being 100% satisfied with the outcome. You're saying, and then I find out that, oh, by the way, you're also been spared having certain bacteria ever living on your penis. They never find certain bacteria on an uncircumcised penis, and they always find certain bacteria on uncircumcised penises. That's a fact. And there's a correlation between venereal diseases and cancer to foreskin. And yeah, and so I'm 100% satisfied not having foreskin. I know that there's a higher risk of me transmitting a disease and that I will have to cleanse my penis more often. And you're saying that if I was to have a child, I'm supposed to ignore my personal experience, ignore the little bit of scientific evidence there is that it is of some benefit not to be circumcised. There's absolutely no clinical evidence of any dysfunction from being circumcised. No clinical evidence of any negative effect when the procedure is done correctly. And you're saying that I should think like you. I should think it's a pointless or stupid thing to do? No. I don't think I should think that way. If I think I'm winning with it, circumcised, if I don't see any deficit or any, I can't even imagine what I'm missing, then how can you make this argument? Why, imagine I'd much rather be fucking my foreskin when I'm having sex. Oh yeah, that'd be so much better. I'll just fuck my own foreskin instead of the woman's vagina. Yeah, that makes so much more sense. No, it doesn't. Well, anyway, there's no point. Alright, so man cheese. I'll just make a quick comment just because she says, she made some comment about how, because I critique that she goes too far. I'm only saying you go too far in the sense that you do exactly what the evil bad men do, which is put all women in one category, say all women is whores. Well, you're doing the same thing, okay? You're making all these general statements about all men, and that's just as ignorant. So defend women. I think that's great. Defend women. But when you start going on the let's bash men thing, well, that's when you start to lose some points. That's all I'm saying. Alright. So Anti-Gaia posted a bunch of links to other videos. Okay, but I don't know if I want to bother with that. Thinking ape on gun control? Oh, no, I'm not doing gun control. That's just a stupid subject. Anyway. So I think there's enough here. I think we're done. Alright, so he doesn't think Thunderfoot is dangerous. Doesn't think it's dangerous when intellectuals talk rubbish. And you think mothering.com is where you find out about what the truth is about circumcision. Yeah. Mummies know best. Especially about penises. Yeah. Anyway. Alright, so, I'll get back to some regular videos soon enough. Yeah. So some sort of something's regular. It's funny, even the comment number keeps changing. I mean, 197. I mean, I don't get 197 comments on any video. But, I mean, really, at least 180 of them are just complete rubbish. I mean, it's just amazing. By all the same people. The same 5 people have made 180 of the comments. Which is fairly annoying, I think. Especially when they're just rude comments, that's all. So, I think that's, that's it. Left uncut. So I'm supposed to find a thread where males complain about being left uncut. I can't, like I said, I can't even imagine how either could possibly post a thread or have a comment about thinking foreskin is the cause of whatever problem they have. So whether they don't have foreskin or whether they do have foreskin, how could they possibly know that foreskin was the problem, causing their problem? But there is plenty of people who have malformed foreskin. So, I mean, really, you want me to post a link to boards where people explain how they have malformed foreskin and it's made it impossible for them to have sex because it's painful because their foreskin is still attached to their dickhead and shit? I mean, I can do that, but I'm not counting that as a reason to, or not a reason. I mean, obviously, natural mutilations by natural mutation, I don't think should be counted in arguments for or against. Anyway, I just don't know how. I mean, what, you really think somebody could regret the procedure and have some possible way of saying to themselves, yes, it's because I don't have a foreskin? You really think that's possible? That they could diagnose their problem with their penis based on not having a foreskin, even though 99 or 95 or 98% of males who have been circumcised have no performance issues whatsoever. You're saying there's something systemic that they're not getting, they're not realizing it somehow, and only 3% or 5% recognize that this terrible defect circumcision causes. So I just don't buy any of that. They gotta have some other problem, and they're just blaming, the scapegoating the procedure, circumcision. It's just a scapegoat, unlike the fact, the facts, okay, regarding foreskin's unadvantageous tendency to store microbes, which is a fact. I won't keep arguing it, but fuck you. This is stupid. Yeah, you're stupid. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You're stupid. It's just kind of bogus. I mean, to post a forum like us, I mean, you should know me. You know, I mean, mothering.com. I mean, come on. You couldn't see that and say, wait a minute. Inmendham ain't gonna take that too seriously. Oh, shit. Bunch of nadling horse sluts. Oh, yes, let's take their word for it. Anyway, till next time.